an assemblage of market players that are providing qualifying benefits eligible to be purchased by individuals as well as small employers, and at that point that's defined as up to 100, and that may change. It may become
now the exchanges, are those supposed to be in 2014 again?
Yes.
Okay. So, and again, as I understand the exchange concept that we talked about before, that this is like a central location that basically you can go and compare plans.
Exactly.
And it may be something like a website or something like that. But anyway, so there will be different choices that will be there for you. Again, as we said, it would be like the 4 choices of different levels of coverage for different premium level, and then the employee contribution level will also have
well, I mean, I suspect there probably will be a website. Of course, we in the brokerage community would hope that people would come to visit us and have us help them select a plan. But yes, they'll have multiple choices from multiple companies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the idea of
it.
And we've had this concept in California for quite a few years, initially the HIPIC, which had an array of opportunities in it. And also we have another program down south that does the same idea for small groups. So I think this is going to be on a bigger stage, and certainly we hope that this is going to create the competition that is going to be required to bring people in line.
Okay.
Last piece on the employer portion is in 2018 we have a Cadillac tax. We've all heard of.
That's right.
Heard of that. And this is going to be imposed on insurance companies or on plans. And when I say plans, I mean, for example, for an employer that has a self-funded plan, this requirement would be placed on them as well. And there's going to be a tax that is paid on the excess of premium that is charged over a fixed amount for a single person or a family.
So this is like an excise tax.
This is an excise tax, and the numbers as they stand today are for a single coverage would be $10,200 of premium, and for a family, $27,500 of premium. Now, an important thing to note here is that the value of the plan as defined includes any contributions to a flexible spending account plan, to an HRA or an HSA, or any medical specialty plan, cancer plan, those kinds of things. So it aggregates all those premiums, and if your plan is charging more than that, you're going to be subject to the tax.
And that doesn't seem that big. I mean, especially if you talk about, I'm thinking of seniors, you know, if you have an older employee, you can get to $10,000 in premium without too much difficulty, I would think. Yeah.
Right. Also note that that does not include vision or dental. They're not specifically not included in that.
Okay, well that's good news, I guess.
There you go.
We've got about 5 minutes left. So a couple of things, though, just to sort of reiterate. First of all, is that smaller employers are not going to be subject to these penalties and so forth, which is good news for most employers, because probably, I'm guessing, about 80% of employers then are not going to be subject to these requirements. And then the other thing is, again, is that the gradual implementation of this, again, it's because, of course, our economy, we're having a tough time right now. They didn't think we could afford it. So they're giving us 4 years to brace ourselves. And so in 2014 is really when most of the key elements of this comes into place, particularly, you know, for the adult coverage, if they have a pre-existing condition and so forth. Although, again, that usually doesn't apply to a group plan so much anyway.
Right. Well, I think you have the certainly the provisions that are in play now or you know soon. Those are really important, and I think employers, you know, larger employers that have their own self-funded plans, those kinds of things, they are, you know, they're trying to figure out exactly what the effect this is going to have, because they, you know, they have to change the reinsurance contracts and all those kinds of things. But but yeah, in the 4-year period of time, in order to get to that place, you know, a lot of things can happen, and we don't really know what those things are going to be.
There might be some adjustments along the way here too, because especially if, although there's some good signs out there. Today is April 20th, and you know, the market's doing fairly well, getting some good news from some of the companies anyway. So hopefully we're in recovery mode. But
Well,
if we don't recover so well, and especially in the way of jobs creation. You know,
I think anymore that old adage that as Wall Street goes, so goes Main Street. I think that's sort of been proven to be a little short-sighted.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see Main Street get going and then have Wall Street be tagging along behind. But
well,
you know,
it tends to be a leading indicator historically. All right. Well, we've just got a couple minutes left. So, what is the key issue you think here for employers?
Well, I think two things. Number one is they're clearly going to need to do some planning relative to the costs of these things, and with that planning would be a pay or play type decision when the mandate comes around, and that is, you know, obviously for 50 and above of employees. But the material that I've read is that most employers seem to be interested in playing. In other words, providing a benefits package for their employees rather than just opting out, going to pay the penalty and tax, just go from there. And you know, historically, employee benefits have been used. That was the main purpose of them, was to try to create non-taxable benefits and incentives to hire and retain people, and we certainly still have that need today. To hire and retain the best people that we can. So I think that's going to be a major factor, pay or play. But again, I think they're gonna play.
Okay. Got about a minute left. Any particular words of wisdom or additional thoughts that you want to throw out before we conclude this thing?
Yeah, I think that you know, this has been the most debated bill/act that we've had probably since the last time that the whole thing started. And you see a lot of, in the press, you see a lot of information relative to, you know, we can't afford it, we can't do this, we can't do that. And, you know, I mean, I think all of that is good, and yet we can't afford to do what we were doing. So this hopefully will at least get us going.
Stop the train wreck.
Yes,
stop the train wreck.
Get us going in some way.
Okay. Well, folks, we're all out of time. I hope that you found this enlightening, at least to get a little additional information and a realistic vision of what's going to happen with this thing. And I hope that you can join us next time for Financial Insider Weekly.